Now, the popularity of filmmaking is ever increasing, with it becoming easier and easier to create high quality films with things like your phone camera and the Pocket 3. But even with this cinema standard resolution, a lot of beginners forget a crucial part. Sound. But with doing filmmaking and movie production for the past 5 years, I've learned how to do something called sound design. But what is it? Well, sound design is the process of creating and manipulating audio elements to enhance the experience of a production. It is one of the most crucial elements when creating an immersive experience in media, whether it be a film, video game or podcast. That's what transports us to new worlds, makes us feel emotion and adds depth to visual elements. But even with its importance, sound design is often overlooked. Many creators struggle to get it right. One of the most common misconceptions about sound designing is that it's all about adding a bunch of cool sound effects to make your project sound epic. But in reality, sound design is much more nuanced than that. It's about creating a sonic landscape that complements the visuals, enhances the mood, and draws the audience in. Another misconception is that sound designing requires a ton of expensive gear and equipment. While having access to high-end equipment can be beneficial, it's not necessary to get started. You can create amazing sound design even with the most basic tools. Many beginners struggle with sound design because they don't know where to start. They're overwhelmed by the sheer amount of equipment and techniques out there, and they're not sure what's worth learning. They might spend hours watching tutorials but still end up with an average sound design that doesn't do any justice to their project. Sound design can be intimidating, especially when you're new to the game. But don't worry, sound design is not impossible. With the right approach and the right guidance, anyone can become a skilled sound designer. So let's dive into the fundamental principles of sound design. One of the most important things to understand is the concept of frequency and how it affects our perception of sound. You see, our ears pick up a wide range of frequencies, from low rumbles to high-pitched squeals. And when we are sound designing, we need to be mindful of how those frequencies interact with each other. For example, if you are creating a scene with a lot of low-end rumble, you might want to balance it out with some high frequencies to create a sense of clarity. Another key principle is layering. Sound design is all about building up and layering sounds to create a cohesive whole. You might start off with some basic ambience, then add some effects, and finally top it off with some music. The key is to make sure each layer complements the others and creates a sense of depth. And of course, there are some technical skills you need to learn, like how to use software, how to record and edit sound, and how to mix and master your tracks. But even with a solid understanding of the fundamentals, sound designing can still be a challenge. That's why it's absolutely essential to have the right tools and techniques. One tool that is absolutely essential is a DAW, which stands for a Digital Audio Workspace. This is where you'll do most of your sound design, from the recording and editing to the mixing and mastering. You can choose from a range of DAWs, from free ones like Odyssey to industry standard ones like Pro Tools. By applying these fundamental principles and techniques, you can now take your sound design skill to the next level. Remember, sound design is all about experimenting and creativity. Don't be afraid to try new things and push boundaries of what's possible. In this video, we've covered a lot of ground, from the importance of sound design to some fundamental principles and techniques. I hope you've learned something new and valuable that you can apply to your own projects. Remember, sound design is a skill that takes time and practice to develop, but with the right dedication and practice, you can become a master sound designer. Check out my other videos for more insights and tutorials on sound design and movie production.